Okay, just showing off something I bought at the local German budget supermarket the other day. Little vice, to say, I expect you've seen my massive great cast iron vice I keep lumping up on the bench. This one's just got a G-clamp, rubber removable buffers. I've just used it to cut the top off of one of these capacitors, so I thought I'd have a look at what's inside. Hopefully there's nothing too dangerous in here, just to see about restuffing it. The thing is I could do this probably by cutting it in half in the middle and pulling them apart, but the thing is, to do that I'd need to damage this label. So this is just an old one I got in my box of old junk that I pulled out of radios. Just really trying to see what's inside this. There's a snot of something coming out. Hopefully it's not badly corrosive. Well, that's pretty much the innards of the capacitor there. Well, if you ever wondered what was inside one of these, this is what it is. Now, whether I should have gloves on or not, if I should, tell me. Just thought it would be interesting to pull one apart, because I've never been inside one of these. Just want to pull it apart even further now. Say it's this is the one that I've taken out, which is 100 microfarads. It might be that I can get a very fine knife and cut this and re-stick this back on, which is going to be my next attempt on my donor one here. Let's just have a look. Again, I'm deviating from what I was doing again, aren't I? I always do that. Okay. So it just looks so far like a... Right, okay. Well, there we are, that's our capacitor, that. Oops. There's one of the ends of the lead. Cleverly made, isn't it? So all it is a sheet of foil with an insulator in between, just coiled up fine to give us the capacitance. Say this is a 2 microfarad that I pulled apart, I think it is. Yeah. Well, there you are. Now you've seen inside an old Plessy capacitor. I don't know how that's actually fixed on there, is it? Just crimped through, I think. Yeah. Let's say, considering that these sets are made back in the late 50s, early 60s with these capacitors in, everything must have been expensive to manufacture. Nowadays it's easy, isn't it? Just pop it on eBay and away you go. No eBay back then. Yeah, so I thought that would be of interest to just unwind one of those. Let's have a look, see if my theory about cutting the plastic off will work. So let's go on the seam there. Just really seeing if this can be peeled off without damage and reapplied. See, it's already, it's quite brittle. You know when sellotape gets really old, other makes are available. It goes a bit brittle. No, that's not looking good that way, so let's try this way. Let's see if I could get a good one off. I could scan it and just alter the values and reapply them somehow with new labels. No, it's just, as you can see, it's just falling apart. I suppose the other option is to try some IPA or something to see if I can soften it up with that, but that may well just get rid of all the colouring. Let's try a bit of IPA as well. It's isopropyl alcohol. It abbreviates it to IPA, but it is isopropyl. Just give that a squirt. Probably melt my voice now. See if that softens it up at all. Not really. No, maybe a little bit. So certainly looking at the construction of this, yeah, see the yellows coming off of it with the isopropyl. So that was a fail. I'm sure somebody somewhere will have some scans of those labels. But yeah, the isopropyls just took the colour off of it. Yeah, it looks like there is an original join in the middle of these, so they must have been just bonded together. Somehow attached. Must have been quite tricky to make these. I must have had a machine to do it, but quite costly to make, I would have thought back then. Yeah, as I say, there is a seam in the middle, but it looks like it's been butt welded with heat, I would have thought. Anyway, thought it'd be worth a deviation to have a look at. If anyone's got any scans of those, then let me know, because it certainly would be nice to restore it and restuff these, because it's easy enough to restuff them. And if you think this is a modern 100 microfarad, and that's the one I've taken out, so you can see they're quite a bit different. So that would easily fit inside there, and it would look spot on, absolutely original. Okay, this was a bit more successful. What I've done, I've scored the middle of it with a knife. I've managed to get the label off intact, so I'm going to scan that anyway as a spare as well, but I'll reapply that. But yeah, I've scored down there, just popped it apart there. It looks like there's, in this one, there's a little metal piece that's separating it up. So, this is interesting now. Let's get some pliers. So I could, in theory, keep the actual ends. They're saying that they're a pain, these, they do snap easy. Yeah, let's unravel this one then. It's pretty wet, this one. Find an end. There we are. what I was thinking is if I was able to keep those two legs, really, solder them onto the new capacitor. Sure, oh, you can see there's a lot more foil in this one because it's a higher capacitance. No, I think I could do, but I'd need to cut it back a fair bit. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to drill the ends of these out. I'm going to leave that cap in on both ends. I'm going to drill them out and probably solder that to there if it will solder. And my new leads sticking out will be these. Then I'm not going to get any short. So I just thought I could, certainly not going to get one of these bigger 100 microfarads in there, am I? Never know, I might do. I might do. Capacitor restuffing is going to happen. Let's do it. Right, bear with me, I'm going to set up, I'm going to drill these out. Right, I'm all set up, ready to drill the first one. I tried using my multi-tool, but unfortunately the bit is rubbish, so I've had to resort to something a bit more heavy duty than that. And I'm drilling from this side because there's like a rivet in here that's the right way round, so bear with me with the noise. Well, I think that's pushed the whole lot out, isn't it? Oh dear. Let's push the whole end piece out. Got a bit hot, I think. I'm not surprised. It's quite thick. It's a fair way to drill through. Okay. Never know, I might still be able to save it. Let's see if I can remove the rubber jewels off of this one a minute. And now we've got metal to play with. Carry on with the drilling process because I can glue that back in. I'm confident I can glue that back in or silicone it in, one of the two. Well, seems to have drilled everything out. I'll tell you what, look, there's even washers in there, look at that. Oh no, that's not, that's the old tag, isn't it? Of course it is. Yeah, right. At last we're through. Not very successful that. I think probably should have gone at it a little bit slower with the drill. That wouldn't have melted the plastic bit. Will that go back in there? Yeah, I think actually that will sit in there okay. Could just melt the plastic and drop it in a bit. The idea obviously is to leave it so as no one knows that it's actually been restuffed. See how that is with one of those leads. So look, positive is that way. It's just that little bit too big for it. It's a fraction too big, so I'm probably going to have to resort to my... Actually, no, saying that, I have got... I must try and get some more of these. I've got some Phillips here, look. Those other ones are Vichy. These will most definitely go in. Hey, look at that. Look at that. I think that's going to work perfectly. Ah. Right, let's do this again, but going a bit easier this time. Okay, that was much more successful. What I did differently there is to put the drill on speed 1 rather than speed 2 to keep it a bit cooler, and put a bit more pressure behind it. So that's just gone straight through. So how about that? One restuffed capacitor. Yeah, I like that. I better check that that's 100 microfarads, otherwise I'll be in trouble. Right, onwards. Okay, there's the capacitor in the device. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just solder this, hopefully, to this end cap. If it'll take it. Will the solder take? No. Okay, I'm carrying on with this. It's proven to be interesting, to be fair, and I like messing with stuff like this, trying to get it just right. So I've stuffed the capacitor inside. All I'm doing now is I've got some shrink sleeve, but rather than try and glue it back together, I'm going to shrink sleeve it. Be careful because this is plastic. I think that's got it. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's immovable now. So we're getting there. We've nearly got a Plessy capacitor backlit, but I've been busy on Photoshop. So here we have, well, that was the original. So what I've done is I've just put that on a bit of white paper, stuck it in my scanner and scanned it. That was the resulting image that came out. Since that I've tidied it all up a little bit and arrived at these. So I mean, to me that, if you can see the original compared to it there, if I come back a bit, but I think you agree that's pretty good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut these out, leaving a little tab, and I'm going to stick them on with some PVA which I've got here somewhere, and see what it's like. I could stick the original one back on, I suppose, but I just thought I'd do it with this just to see how we get on. So bear with me, I'll cut them out and stick them on, see how we go. Okay, one capacitor. I'm going to go with this stuff as just a universal adhesive. It's nothing fancy. As I say, I don't need to go mad now because I have got the shrink wrap on it, shrink sleeve. So let's just have a go at this. Put a little bit on there to hold it to start with. This is going to be tricky, isn't it? Why do I do these things? Right, I need to cut that top tab off. Let's get some of this glue down here. Let's glue some mucky stuff. Right. There we have it. I think I'm quite pleased with that. That's only a first attempt. There's a couple of tweaks I'm going to do to that. I'm going to make the yellow a bit longer on my Photoshop, so as it'll overlap yellow. So just extend the size of the image. That glue seems to be holding it. Maybe contact adhesive might be better. It's difficult to manipulate it really. But no, that's come out alright. As I say, there's a bit of a white band there, but end of the day I'll put it in the circuit that way up, so I don't know if you can see that or not. Is it going to focus? There we go. So there we are. One restuffed Plessy with a Philips 100 microfarad inside. Excellent. Well worth a play. Okay, I'm just finishing putting in the second of my stuffed capacitors. So I've now stuffed 200 microfarad capacitors and printed out new labels for them both. I'm really pleased with the results actually. Something I never thought I'd get into because it looked like a load of hassle, but it certainly looks the part when you're trying to restore something as original as possible. I've heard of restuffing the caps in the big valve radios, but then they're huge great things, so I can understand that, but these transistor ones are a hell of a lot more fiddly. So, I've got 2 restuffed caps in there, look. Zoom you in. I hope you'll agree that they did come out really well. Difficult to see here because it's not that brilliant, but there's one, look, in there. Restuffed, new label. I printed the label slightly longer this time. I was able to wrap it around. I did that one with super glue. The other one is in there. So again, that was the first one I did. But yeah, they've come out really well. I put them so as the values facing upwards as well. So the seams are at the back. So I thought I'd just quickly hook that up and see See if that's got us rid of that hum. Just let me grab the case of the speaker a minute. I'll tell you what, these rooks are driving me crackers out there. Can you hear them? God, they don't stop. It's baby rooks. Unfortunately, they're screaming for their mothers for food, or fathers. Driving me crackers. Okay, I'm connected back up again now to the power supply. Currently on 12 volts, obviously this is an 18 volt set. Alright, let's pump it up a bit. Okay, there we go, 18 volts. Well, certainly that capacitor that I changed has got rid of, well, that I've restuffed. It's got rid of that horrible hum. Right, let's turn some stuff off. Camcorder, light. Still quiet, so there's some more caps gone in there somewhere. It's not drawing much current either. No, well, it's cured one thing, but I've still got issues with no reception, so let's try long wave. Cool. I've got scratchy controls everywhere here. So I expect the next thing to do before I start changing more capacitors is to just clean this wave change switch. Let's go and get this back on there. So yeah, the wave change switch, it's a bit of a complex thing in this. Get that changed. Changed? No, I won't be changing that. Just get some switch cleaner on that. The contacts do look pretty dirty. You can hear as I turn it's real scratchy. And the volume pot as well is really scratchy. Hopefully I'll have to take that one apart as well. Don't like taking those apart. That particular one is, I've had one of those apart before. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Doesn't look like there's anywhere I can get switch cleaner in that one though, which is concerning. Anyway, we'll give that a go and see how we get on. Bear with me. Okay, I've cleaned the wave change switch up and we have action.
Moves it back, again South Africa, stretched all over the place. The ball swept up Charles here now, they go charging forward with that one. Up for Devin Coulter, 5 metres short of the line. Available for Conor Murray, moves it out far side, there goes Teddy Jack.
This is long wave now.
Really? commodity, we've just been reminded. So you think it's a reprieve for pumpkin.
I'm going to have a go at that volume.
It's a bit of an agate.
Ha! A volume pot and the capacitors around it.
Sort of blend, steers it out of the offside.
Medium wave? Yes.
Yeah, let's hope so.
I mean, there's so many boats in the bay as well. Come from quite a long way away. There's also a cruise line.
So hopefully they're enjoying the air show too.
Tone?
So,
Low?
Yeah, I mean, they're just
Medium?
here today, so.
High? Very nice.
The Queen for her birthday celebrations at around about midday. I believe they've done 7 other flypasts on the way. And they're going to be here in under an hour's time. And then in also under an hour, the Typhoon will announce.
Well, there we go. Actually working. Brilliant news. As I say, I've got to keep switching stuff off, unfortunately, because of the interference. Amazing, isn't it? Anyway, there you go. A little bit of the old switch cleaner. This deoxit is good stuff, I must admit. But it's not a lot of it, and it does come out pretty quick. At least with the Servosol, you can control the flow a bit. This is like either fully on or fully off. I'm just wondering. Oh, hang on, we've got spray adjust. Low, medium, and high. Ah, let's get it on low. That's probably better. That's better. Thought it was going a bit mad. Anyway, that's good news so far. I've got some more caps to redo. Unfortunately, I've made a what's his name for myself now. It looks like I'm going to have to restuff them all. I'm not sure about these upright ones though, because I'm not sure if the legs are long enough on the newer caps. Anyway, join me again soon. I'll be back. As I say, I'm having a go at restuffing these Plessy old electrolytics. Bear in mind this is something from the early 1960s, so it's nice to try and keep it original if you can. Trouble is, at the moment I'm having trouble getting the inner piece out. Definitely playing hard to get with me. If you can see that or not, but it's very much jammed in there. So that's, I'm trying to get it so as I can keep it like that in the circuit with a new capacitor in underneath, but I'm going to end up drilling this out in a minute, I know it. So bear with me while I still carry on and attempt to get that out. Okay, I have at last got it out. What a game that was. Stuff everywhere here, look. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to squirt some hot glue in here. Fill it up, and then I'm going to poke the if it will go. There we go, come on. Oh, too much hot glue. Ah! Put this all in there. A little bit more in. Hi and welcome back. Well, I've had a bit of a clean up. I've been busy. I've virtually recapped this one now as far as the electrolytics are concerned. I just thought I'd recap the recapping. Just let you know what I've been doing. So these two here, these are both 8 microfarad axial plessis. So what I've done, I've cut them in half. I've removed the old capacitor, which is that, so we'll put that on the meter in a minute. There was quite a few of these are pretty way out. So inside these 8 microfarads is now 10 microfarad Phillips capacitors. I've measured them before I put them in as well, so they're spot on. Then I've used some of this heat shrink tubing. This is, I think it's 3:1 this, so it'll shrink to 3 times its original size. You can get 4:1. The standard stuff's 2:1, I think, and you can get some stuff with glue in it as well. But that's done the job. I just thought we'd just hook this capacitor up a minute and just see what it is. It's not complete really because I've peeled some of it off, but see if it's still showing as a capacitor, which it is. So it's showing as 13.29 microfarads. As we know, it's supposed to be an 8 microfarads, and it's done a little beep because the ESR is 5.1 ohms, so it's pretty low resistance now. So shot. Just thought I'd show you that. Now I've had a few goes at labels on these. And my latest idea, which I haven't tried yet, is this. So basically I've got the original labels, I've scanned them, I've touched them up in Photoshop, made them slightly longer so they'll wrap around better. And what I've done, I don't know if you can see this, but I've printed them out on some label paper, some sticky back label paper. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have a go at cutting a couple of these out because I need to stick them around these. See how I get on. What I think is I'll just whip these out with the scissors to start with, so I can reuse the others. Okay, I thought I'd just fast forward this bit. I'm just basically cutting out the sticky labels with my little paper trimmer. So let's see how they turn out. So the spare one. At least I know for the future that I can reuse these, especially with radios like this where the back comes out and everything is on show. It's nice to have it original. I mean, say these are all made in England, never be made again in England, so I think it's worth the effort. Right. This is the tricky bit now. I'm going to get that on that. So let's see if I can peel these off. It's printed out on a laser printer, by the way. It's less likely to get affected by the heat in the radio. Come on, where's the edge? Right, so what I probably want to do is stick it on that way first. Wow, that certainly has done the trick. How about that? Okay. Yeah, that's come out pretty good. There you are. Well, I won't bore you with the other one as well. I'll do that one and pop it back in, and then we'll switch it back on again, see how we get on. Okay, I'm just going to solder the first one back in. Snip the wires off. Touch up. That's that one in. And the next. Okay, and the last one. That was real tricky to get in, that one. To use the forceps to actually get it in the circuit. Mental. So I put a little bit of flux on this because it is quite an old board. A nice clean joint on it. That's okay. Let's whip those off. Let's give that one a little touch up. There we are, all the caps back in. So that actually looks like original still. I'm really pleased with that. Let's say they are quite unique, those little plessies. I got one label there that seems to be refusing to stick back, but that's not one of mine, that's an original one. I put a little bit of glue on that, but it's taken a while to go off. But yeah, that's come out really well. So I think this sticky label method has it really. Yeah, so say that's all the electrolytics done. All original plessies. Not. As I say, some of them are quite a way out, but it is nice to reuse them. I'm glad I had to go at that. Again, taking up way too much time, but what the hell, you know.